I remember the moment like it was yesterday. I was at the airport, sitting there, staring at the flight board, trying to make sense of what had just happened. My connection flight was, well, gone. I had no idea what to do. It was supposed to be a simple, smooth transfer, just a short hop from one airport to the next, then I'd be at my final destination. But everything fell apart when the first flight was delayed. By the time we landed, my connecting flight had already taken off, and I was stuck. I started running through all the possible scenarios in my head. I could try to get on the next flight, but it was fully booked. I could wait in line, but there was no guarantee that I'd get a seat, and my time was running out. I knew I had to do something fast because I wasn't just missing a flight, I was missing part of a trip I'd been planning for months. The thing was, I had no clue where to start. I felt so helpless. I mean, who thinks to prepare for something like this? You assume everything will just go smoothly, right? But life doesn't always work like that. I had an important meeting waiting for me, a hotel room booked, and a whole itinerary ahead of me. This was turning into a disaster. That's when I remembered something that I had almost forgotten about: travel insurance. Now I know what you're thinking. Travel insurance? Really? Yeah, I was skeptical too. I always thought, do I really need this? Or, what's the point if nothing goes wrong? But let me tell you, the relief I felt when I remembered that I had it was like a weight being lifted off my chest. I had signed up for this service called Aura's Insure, something I honestly didn't pay much attention to at the time, thinking it was just a small backup plan for the worst case scenario. But here I was in the worst case scenario. So I reached out to their customer support, not really sure what to expect. I didn't even know if they'd cover a misconnection due to a delay. But within minutes, I got a response. And it was good news. They'd cover the costs. They could help rebook my flight and even cover the expenses I would incur while I waited for the next available flight. Honestly, I was almost in disbelief. I didn't even have to jump through hoops or fill out endless forms. They just took care of it, no hassle. A few hours later, I was on a new flight, heading toward my destination with all the stress and anxiety behind me. I didn't lose any money, didn't miss my meeting, and still had a good portion of the trip left to enjoy. Looking back, it's crazy to think how much of a game changer that insurance was. I've traveled a lot, but this was the first time I ever realized how much I was relying on something I had dismissed for so long. The best part is, Aura's didn't just help with the rebooking. They were there when I needed them most, during the chaos, during that moment when everything felt like it was falling apart. If you're anything like me, you probably think travel insurance is an afterthought. Something you add last minute because it sounds like a good idea. But trust me, if you ever find yourself in a situation where everything goes wrong, you'll be so glad you had it. I know I was. And now, whenever I travel, I don't even question it. I always make sure I have my Aura's policy ready, just in case. Because the peace of mind it gave me that day, it was worth its weight in gold. I'm not saying you have to use Aura's, but if you're looking for a reliable, no-nonsense way to protect your travels, it's definitely worth checking out. It was the one thing that saved my trip.